Welcome to the HE Game of the Week. I'm John Anderson. Tonight we have Schaumburg at 3-2 hosting Hoffman Estates, which comes in at 5-0. The temperature is only 69 degrees tonight versus last week we had a game at 88 degrees at the time of kickoff. And so this is much more seasonal weather and feels much more comfortable. We're starting at 6 p.m. tonight, and it's a Thursday. This is an accommodation for the Jewish holiday coming up tomorrow. So it's a little different game time. I'm wearing a visor here tonight to keep the sun out of my eyes. It's rather sunny right now at this time of day. Schaumburg's head coach is Mark Stilling, who has been here for a long time. He's compiled a very excellent record at Schaumburg over the years. This year he's 3-2. His team is averaging 24.4 points a game and allowing just under 21 points a game. Hoffman Estates is coached by new head coach Tim Heisey, and he is 5-0. He took over a program that had been built up by Donna Tucci, and he's carrying it forward very successfully. Hoffman is averaging almost 34 points a game, and they're allowing only 7.4 per game, which is among the very lowest in the state of Illinois. I looked through a number of conference schedules this year, and I saw no other team as low as that. And I went through about 5 or 6 other conferences and found no one. So it's one of the lowest point averages in the state for this fine Hoffman Estates defense. Hoffman Estates as a team is ranked 6th in the state of Illinois in Class 7A. So that's in the whole state. They're ranked 6th and playing extremely well. So it's an interesting matchup tonight. The Schaumburg offense, which has been pretty good and strong on running, going up against this powerful Hoffman defense. Last week, Hoffman beat Conant 20-6. And that game, Conant was able to slow down the passing game of Hoffman to some extent, but they showed us a running game with Jalen Johnson, who gained 106 yards in 19 carries and gave them quite a successful running game. Meanwhile, Conant, which played 5 defensive backs, held Hoffman to only 82 yards passing. So that was the low of the year, and we'll have to see if Schaumburg tries something like that with a 5-man defensive back set. I think we will see more passing on the part of Hoffman tonight. For the season, Austin Colson, their quarterback, is averaging 200, just a little over 225 yards a game passing. His key receiver is Jalen Alexander, a Purdue recruit. He's a big player. He's about 6'3", 235 pounds or so. He's averaging a little over 112 yards a game in receptions. Last week he scored on a 38-yard pass play that made a real big difference in that game, kind of broke it open. And so last week Schaumburg lost, playing at home here. They lost to a very fine Palatine team, 21-28, and it was one of those losses where you've got some satisfaction out of doing that well against a Palatine team. Palatine has won 3 conference championships in a row. They're doing well this season. Palatine has lost 2 games, but they've been to 2 of the top teams in the state, Maine South and Stevenson. Maine South is ranked 2nd in the big school division, and so they lost to them in a close game. And Palatine, a really good team, and Schaumburg was able to play very successfully with them last week. Some key players for Schaumburg include the quarterback, Deontay Arnold, and interestingly, he's passed for 288 yards. He's run for 345 yards this year. He's got a 5-yard a carry average running, so he actually runs more than passing. Other key players, Jordan Salgado is back from last year as a running back. The offensive line has a key lineman returning this year, David Doers. This game, basically, the big question here is, can the Schaumburg running game go up against this superb Hoffman Estates defense tonight And just how successful will they be? This defense of Hoffman Estates has shut down every team they've played. They appear to be one of the finest defenses in the state. Hoffman is ranked 6th in the state of Illinois in Class 7A. I think Hoffman comes in here with just too much defense and will have the edge in this game and move on to a 6-0 record. We're getting ready for the kickoff here at Schaumburg, where the Saxons are hosting the Hawks of Hoffman Estates. And it's a beautiful evening. It's sun-drenched. We're here at 6 p.m. to accommodate the Jewish holidays, and which are coming up on Friday. And so we're starting at 6 p.m. to get this in on a school night. We should conclude the game around 8:30 or so, and everybody has time to get home and get a good night's sleep before a full day of classes tomorrow. But both of these teams are having good seasons, and Schaumburg is 3-2, and Hoffman is really having a spectacular season. A few years ago, they were so down and out, and now they're really on top of things. And with a 5-0 record and ranked number 6 in the state. The teams are out on the field now, lining up for the kickoff. It's approximately a 6 o'clock kickoff in about 35 seconds. And Schaumburg will receive the ball at the south end of the field. Hoffman will receive the ball at the north end of the field, and Schaumburg is kicking from the south end of the field. They're lined up now. We're ready for the kickoff. So here it goes. These are two pretty good rivals. School districts abut each other. They've been in same conference for many years. Its conference name has changed a couple of times, but they've been the Mid-Suburban West for the last 19 years. There it is. It's taken there by number 13, and there's a flag on the play after a nice return. The flag was to the left of the running back. It's probably an illegal block of one sort or another. You know, it's blocking the back or clip or. And the referees are getting ready to mark the ball here. Still pretty warm for this time of year. It's not anywhere near the oppressive heat that we had last week at 88 degrees to start a game. Now we're 69. We're sort of a warm 69. Not much wind right now. Hoffman Estates, the leading passing team in the Mid-Suburban West. Here's the snap to Colson. He fires a short swing pass out to, that's Jalen Alexander, his favorite receiver, and he takes that swing and goes all the way for a first down. Very hard to bring down, big, strong. He's a Purdue recruit. Last week we saw 5 defensive backs. Here's Colson running around the backfield. He throws it away. Covered pretty well. There's a flag thrown there. Somebody pushed somebody after the play, I think. It's either pass interference or unnecessary roughness or something. They've been. We're in the east press box, so we look out toward the sun, setting in the west. And that's part of the reason why I had a visor on tonight. And here we go. Here's the walk-off. Offensive pass interference is the call against Hoffman Estates. That'll take it all the way back to, let's see where he marks it here. The 12-yard line. 23 yards to go for a first down here. Costly penalty. Somebody moved on that play. It may have been Alexander. So Hoffman is, right now it's to the rear march for Hoffman. There are couple penalties here, and they're all the way back. Now the ball is on the 7. So it's ball on the 7. First down, 28 to go. However, this is a high-powered passing game, and they can connect on something and make up yardage like this. It appears that Schaumburg is going with more like four defensive backs. A run up the middle there. That was Jordan Salgado, leading ball carrier for, excuse me, that was Jalen Johnson. Johnson was a key running back for Hoffman last week. He piled up the middle, ran 19 times, ran for over 100 yards, and made a big difference when Conant had slowed down the passing game. Now we're at 3rd and 24 to go. Ball is on the 11. So we'll most likely see a deep pass here. It's the only thing that can get them a first down. They've got to go 24 yards. Colson is an accurate passer. He's leading passer in the conference. There's a good pass. It's going to be short of a first down quite a bit, but it moves them out to much better field position for the punt. Rifled it in there, but there was a defensive back ready to make the tackle and put the play down. It picked up about 13 yards on that. So that puts them in a better position. They're at the 25-yard line to punt. Schaumburg with two players back right around their own 40. Here's the punt. It's a very big, deep punt over the heads of the receivers. Now it's gathered in by number 33, and he's brought down way back. It looks like about the 15-yard line. So tremendous field position change here with a pass completion and then a terrific punt and a run back that failed because he was going to try to turn around and run with that, and he lost his footing and went down. And so Schaumburg takes over there. The ball is on the 16-yard line of Schaumburg. So they now have the bad field position that that Hoffman was working with just a few minutes ago. Arnold is the quarterback, Deontay Arnold, and he runs a little more than passes. There's a give to 28. Now that is Jordan Salgado, who was the leading rusher last year for Schaumburg. He hasn't played quite as much this year. He's off to somewhat of a slow start, but he looks like he's up to speed tonight. Picked up a first down on that run. And there's Loss of 3 on that run. A little bit of a mix-up in the backfield, I think. This Hoffman defense in tight, looking for the run. And the run comes and it breaks around the left end. It's a first down for Schaumburg. So far, Schaumburg's showing some ability to go outside on the left, right at the outset of the game here. They're running left again, but this time he turns it into the middle and gets tackled after a short gain. I think that was Delgado again. Schaumburg will try to pound the football here. That's what they do best, and we'll see if they can do it against this very, very tough Hoffman Estates defense. And there's that defense closing rapidly and shutting down an interior run there. That brings up third and looks like about 6 or 7. 7. We'll see if Arnold takes to the air here. He might just pump fake and take off and run with it. He's been very successful running the football this year. They're in a spread formation. We've got, right now we've got number 10 in at quarterback. He's listed as a wide receiver. Don't know anything about the status of Arnold. He's been the number 10 is Marcus Ross, wide listed with, oh. Flag flies on that one. And that'll create a first down for Schaumburg. We have number 10 out there at quarterback right now. We don't know. It's not like the NFL. We're not given pregame injury reports or anything. And so number 10, listed as a wide receiver, is out there. That's Marcus Ross. Out there at quarterback. Big size differed. Arnold is 6'3", 212 pounds. Ross is 5'9", 178-pound junior. Arnold, a senior. And here's Ross looking downfield. Now he's taking off. He's got quick feet. He looked down, didn't see anything that looked attractive, and he tucked it and he ran, and that brings up 3rd and 5. And they're on the Hoffman 40, roughly. 41 maybe. 41-yard line of Hoffman. 3rd and 5. The initial drive for Schaumburg. Here goes Ross trying to find some room up the middle. There's none there. Maybe picked up half a yard or so. So that'll bring up 4th down. They're going to be right about at the 40. And a lot of teams will go for it in this situation because sometimes you punt and if you get a bad punt off, it doesn't help you that much. And turning it over, they still have to go 60 yards, but it's 4th and about 5, so we'll see. It does look like they're going for it. And it's on the rationale, you've got more to gain than lose in some of these situations. If you've got a team that is fairly good at picking these up. So we'll see. They've called a timeout. Think it over a little bit. So with 6:06, we're right at the midpoint of the first quarter. It's 0-0, and the Hawks of Hoffman Estates had the ball, but penalties ruined the drive. That put them way back, and they managed to move up a little bit and then get off a good punt. Schaumburg has put together a drive here. They're down on the 40-yard line of Hoffman right now, but it's 4th down with 5 to go. So it's decision time on whether to go for it or not. Against this defense, they've got an opportunity here, at least on the Hoffman side of the field, to sustain a drive. Let's see what they're going to do. They look like they're going to go for it. They are going for it. Ross is still in there, so maybe we can find out something about Arnold at halftime. Salgado in the backfield there. Here's Ross looking downfield. He throws deep. It's picked off. There's a flag in the air. It's picked off by 37. That's Cameron Kindred, wide receiver, defensive back for Hoffman, that picked it off, but let's see what the flag was all about. Kindred and a Schaumburg player were fighting for the ball, and one or the other may have interfered. Beautiful evening, and it's another excellent evening for passing. We've got almost no wind. It was 69 degrees at the start of this. We're probably down to 68 or so now. And very still and comfortable. Unlike most games, we started a little earlier, so we've got a lot of daylight right now. The lights are on in the stadium, but it's mainly the daylight that is still illuminating the play here. Looks like defensive pass interference there. And Schaumburg retaining the football. So that's 1st and 10 from the Schaumburg 25-yard line. Ross with Salgado. Salgado gets the ball, and he's found some running room up the middle there, so that's a good run. That looks like it is in fact a 1st down. So Schaumburg making the best of some penalties here and sustaining this drive. Here's Salgado again carries the football and picks up a little bit this time, not much. About 1 yard. They're on the 12-yard line now. So this drive started at their own 16, I believe, and with the help of a couple of penalties, they've moved down the field. There's that defense. Schaumburg, however, showing some ability to run against the Hoffman defense here in the early going. Not that time, though. They lost about 1.5 yards. So that brings up 3rd and 11. Or they probably lost about 2 yards. I think they were up a little more. Clock ticking. We're down to 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Here's Ross looking downfield. Now he scrambles to his right, and he's going to try to run with it. He does run with it and picks up just a little bit, and we've got another 4th down situation. But this time we're ball on the, we're going to be on about the 9-yard line or so, it looks like. Or make that about the 11-yard line. And so from the 11, this would be a 28-yard field goal attempt for Schaumburg to try to break out into the lead here with a little under 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. That's number 35, looks good. And so that was number 35 kicking. And as is the case sometimes, there's no number 35 on the roster, so he'll have to remain a mystery kicker for the moment. But anyway, he did the job, and the Saxons lead 3-0 with 3 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the first quarter. They're off to an early lead against the number 6 ranked Hawks of Hoffman Estates. It's very early in the game, but they've got a lead, which perhaps will give them a little more confidence of doing well here tonight. They did very well last week against an outstanding Palatine team, which is 3-2, but as I said in the pregame, they lost to 2 teams in the top 10 of 8A in close games. So that could have been a 5-0 team with no trouble at all. And Schaumburg hung with them for the whole game. So Schaumburg to kick off. The Hawks back in the north side of the field for the kickoff. Here it is. It's down the middle, a little bit short. Taken by number 13 again. And he's squeezing a few more yards out of that one. It's up to about the 33, 34-yard line or so. So fairly decent field position for Hoffman to start this drive. Looked to me on the first series there that Schaumburg is pretty much with 4 defensive backs. There's 3 defensive backs. Well, there's 4 back now. 3 of them are fairly deep, and 1 is up fairly close. Here's Johnson, the workhorse from last week, and that's what he did a lot. He doesn't go down easy. He drags people with him, and he did at that time. Picks up a nice chunk of yardage on first down. We're up to second and about 3, it looks like, to go. So a nice 7-yard carry for Johnson. He's built low to the ground, has a lot of power. Here he goes up the middle again. He shreds a few tacklers. He's hit very hard after picking up the first down with ease, right up the middle, and hit hard right a few yards after that, but it's another good gain, probably about a 6 or 7 yard pickup on that carry, and now they're putting it back in play, 1st and 10. Here's Colson looking downfield. He rifles the ball, but it's just a little bit too wide for number 13 to gather that in, and that's Will Nunn. He's a wide receiver. We don't have heights or weights with the Hoffman roster, but he looks to be right around 6 feet or so. Maybe just a little bit under that. Slim, fast receiver. Here's Colson. Give is, I believe, to Johnson again. He pounds it up the middle.
Johnson up the middle. Brought down by O'Linton. -2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 8.
So Hoffman looking to Johnson quite a bit here tonight, as they did last week. Oh, there's almost, there is an interception, and it's going to be returned a long way. It may go all the way. Number 5 has it. Was tipped, picked it off, and he's in the end zone. That's number 5 for Schaumburg that carried it into the end zone. Jamari McIntyre. He's listed as a running back, 5'10", 161-pound junior. And that ball was tipped up in the air, and he alertly picked it off, went down the sideline. He had one man to outrun. He outran him and got into the end zone. So now the Saxons lead 9-0 against the team that's number 6 in the state. This is a rather impressive start for Schaumburg in this game, to say the least. Even though they have been playing well, it's still quite impressive, a big play like that, and they're lining up for the kick now to try to make it 10-0. It's up, it's good. So we have a 10-0 ball game here with exactly 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Saxons on top, 10-0 over the Hawks, and that was pick 6 is just about one of the biggest plays in football, where you go from being on offense and moving down the field and seemingly perhaps about to complete a pass, and it goes all the way the other way. It's a dramatic play when it happens, and it can really swing the momentum in a game. This one was a tip. Then McIntyre picked it off. His own man tipped it and took it all the way. Heard that he gathered the ball in right around the 40-45 yard line of Schaumburg and took it 55, 60 yards or so for a touchdown. So now the Hawks will get the ball back again. They were moving to some extent on a number of runs by Johnson and a couple pass completions. They'll be receiving the ball again at the north side of the field. Wind is not a factor. The sun is starting to go down. We don't have quite as much sun. I may be even able to take my visor off in a little while. This is Nunn again. He's had his hands on the ball quite a few times. It may be pronounced noon or none, I'm not sure. But anyway, he's number 13, and he's been all over the field tonight, returning kicks and received a couple of passes and been an active player. Hoffman offense back out on the field. Well, we'll see. This is looked like an end around, number 24, swinging around and taking that. That's Trevon Hall. He is a wide receiver. And took that ball for a nice gain. And that puts Schaumburg out to their own 39-yard line, 1st and 10. Colson gets the hike, and that's another run with Trevon Hall. Very fast wide receiver, in on the running game the last 2 plays, and this time he picks up 8 yards. Showing a little speed to complement the power running up the middle that Johnson has for them. Here's Colson. Goes back, almost tackled there. Then he gets it up. It's intercepted again. And here we go again. Another pick six. Unbelievable. 2 pick sixes. I think Colson had only about 2 or 3 interceptions all season. And now there's been 2 pick sixes. We're down, and the Hawks find themselves down 16-0. Schaumburg coming out to try to make it a 17-0 game. We're still in the first quarter here, and Schaumburg has scored 17 points. 2 of these 2-6 picks back to back practically against a team that has allowed coming into the game had allowed 37 points in 5 football games. We're not even out of the first quarter, and it looks like they're going to have 17 points on the board. But in fairness to the defensive unit, 14 of the points have been scored on pickoffs against the offense. The defense has allowed a total of 3 points, but it all goes on the scoreboard against the team. And in terms of Hoffman and its really glossy numbers on defense, it's not going to look quite as good after this game due to two pick sixes. I've rarely seen 2 in one game by a team, and I don't think I've seen 2 in one game so close together in all my days of watching games over many, many years. But it happened tonight already, and Schaumburg is off to a spectacular 17-0 lead with 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Stands are starting to fill up now with this 6 o'clock start. I think we had a lot of people finishing dinner when we kicked it off here, but they've filed into the stands, and we've got a fairly good turnout for a Thursday night. So here's the kickoff again. Hoffman Estates again back in the north side of the field waiting for the kick. It looks like it's going to Noon again, and he gathers it in, and he's flying with the ball again. He's a good runner. However, there's good coverage there by Schaumburg. Number 30 is the one that sort of tipped him over at the end. He got hit by about 3 players, and number 30, that's Brendan Reed Ropeson, defensive back, finishing off the tackle there on Noon. So here we go again. Colson having a terrible night. Now, the first one was a tip. However, it was tipped by a defensive back who almost intercepted it, and then it was intercepted after that. Here's a sort of an energized Schaumburg defense there, making a tackle after a very short gain up the middle. Well, I was at a playoff game last year where Hoffman Estates was playing Bennett, and it's one of the few times I've watched a game from the sidelines. And they fell behind 23-0, came all the way back to tie up a fine Bennett team, 23-all in the fourth quarter, and wound up losing, but they did make a tremendous comeback in that game. So here it is, the end of the first quarter with the score 17 for the Schaumburg Saxons, and the Hawks of Hoffman Estates 0. They do have the football, and we've still got 3 quarters to play, so there's a lot of football coming up and a lot of opportunity for Hoffman to get back in the game. So it's a test for Hoffman to get calm and collected and move forward here and try to come back. Meanwhile, it's an opportunity for Schaumburg to pull off what would have to be considered an upset, even though Schaumburg is a good football team. They're going up against an opponent that's ranked 6th in the state, so they win here tonight. It'll be called an upset, that's for sure. And they're taking a big stride toward doing that in the first quarter with a 17-0 lead. Now Hoffman has the ball at their own 23-yard line, 2nd and 10. Is that caught or looks? No, they're not allowing it. It's didn't have control of it. The ground helped him hold on to that ball. He kind of fell on top of it. So that brings up 3rd and 10. Well, I think if their game plan was to pound it out with Johnson, they had to amend that, and they're going to have to open it up to try to get back into this game. Oh no, here we go again. Unbelievable. Number 5 has it. He's way down. He's not going to go all the way, but he's very deep. He's down around the 20-yard line of Schaumburg. 3rd interception tonight. And this one is a serious run back with it. It's not all the way, but it gives Schaumburg the ball. See where they mark it here. It's around looks like it's about the 22-yard line. So there comes a point where it's almost too hard to come back. You know, you get too far behind, and it's not like Schaumburg isn't going to score any points the rest of the evening. You know, and here they're practically in field goal position to start this drive. There's number 4. That's the Arnold, who has started most games, back in. Wasn't out there for the first quarter, but he's out there now. That's Deontay Arnold. He's 6'3", 211 pounds. He comes in and replaces Ross, who did a respectable job in the first quarter and made a contribution to a drive that resulted in a field goal. But here's Arnold out there, and he's having a pretty big year. Here he runs the football. He runs it more than he passes it. Little more running yardage than passing for him this year. Looking for some running room. He saw just picked up a little bit there. Third and 12. Ball on the 24. And a flag. Looks encroachment on Hoffman Estates there, so it'll be 3rd and 7. And they're down to the 19-yard line now. A field goal here would be about a 36-yarder if they don't pick up anything. Here's Arnold running to his left. He picks up a few yards, but he's going to be short. And so he's probably out of bounds at they're showing the 18, so he's really didn't pick up much. They start 6-7 yards behind the line of scrimmage and do a lot of running just to pick up 1 yard. So the ball is on the 17. Be about a 34-yard field goal if they were to attempt it. That's sort of at the outer range for a lot of high school kickers. It's right on the edge, and it looks like they're going to try to go for it here. They are going for the first down. It's 4th and 5. Arnold looking around. He's got two running backs with him. And he gives to 23. He didn't, looks like he did not go anywhere. He's short. I think that may have been Mike Diglia on that run. If I'm looking at this, he's only a freshman, a rare freshman playing varsity football. So the ball goes over on downs, and Hoffman remains 17 points down. That did take up some time. We're a little under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Colson. Looks like he handed off to Johnson there, and Johnson plows ahead.
Johnson on a carry.
They might want to just take it easy and plow and hold the football and march down the field and put a score on the board and try to ease their way back into this one. Not push the panic button here. A lot of playing time left. Here's Johnson again, and he's got a little running room this time. Big hole. Number 71. Javi Hordado out there, probably throwing a block on that one. There's number 12, Kaya Grace, running the football for Hoffman. They're getting some big chunks of yardage on the ground right now. Oh, they're really making things work. I think this defense of Schaumburg is probably looking for Johnson and up the middle, and there's room off tackle, off end, and Hoffman moving the ball nicely here on the ground. These little sweeps. Here's another one. Now the ball comes loose. Popped right out. Let's see what happened here. It's Schaumburg's football, so another turnover. So this is the fourth turnover. 3 interceptions, 2 pick sixes out of the 3, and now a fumble recovered by Schaumburg. And so with 8:24 remaining, it's still 17-0 Schaumburg. Schaumburg again has the football. Well, they could take 3-4 minutes off here, and we're getting near halftime at 17-0. So it's this game. The turnovers have made this game pretty lopsided in favor of Schaumburg for early in the game to be up 17-0. And that came right after Hoffman was moving the ball nicely. Here's Arnold throwing wide to the right there, but man was covered very well by number 35 for Hoffman, was the defensive back, Brandon Frymere. Or actually, he's listed as a linebacker, was out there running step for step with the receiver and defended against that pass. So now some confusion there. I wonder if they're going to have to call timeout. trying to get set. You've got 3 men in the backfield basically, and here's Arnold throwing over the middle. They're ruling it incomplete. It looked like he may have had it just above the ground, but he came down, got a little help from the ground, holding on to that one. So it's ruled that he trapped it. And that will force a punt here, I think. It's 4th and 9. And Arnold punts the ball. Gets a Hoffman bounce. It's back to the 36-yard line. So with the score remaining 17-0, Hoffman's got the ball back. Still a lot of time to go in the first half. However, Hoffman finds itself in a position that they haven't been in all year. Down 17-0. Nobody, in fact, nobody has scored 17 points on them in any game. So 2 pick sixes, the big story so far. Here's Colson, and he's got a man, and oh boy. A very catchable ball, and he had a step or two on his defender. That's number 4 for Hoffman. That's Javon Blissett, a senior receiver who has played well. He's the second leading receiver on the team. And unfortunately for him and for Hoffman, he didn't hang on to that one. He had gotten some space between his defender open, and Colson put it right there, but he just didn't hold on to it. So that brings up 2nd and 10. Here's Johnson. He's pounding up the middle. This Hoffman team seems very determined to just forge ahead and try to get back in this game in spite of all the adversity of 4 turnovers. 3 interceptions, 1 fumble. That's enough turnovers for a couple of games at least. And we're only in the first half. There's another run by Johnson. I'll tell you, the running game for Hoffman has really asserted itself suddenly here. They're really running with force and authority, and Johnson's basically pounding it up the middle, and then they've got several receivers who do the end around and not as wide as it's typically run, but to the edge. Here's Colson. He finds Blissett this time, hangs on to it. He's got a first down. So Hoffman moving with some determination and some precision and power here. They've moved right down the field, and they're all the way down to the 31 of Schaumburg here very quickly with a 1st and 10. Here's Johnson again. He's got a little room. He's powering. He's going to be, it looks like it's either a first down or very close to it. It is a first down. Johnson actually appears to be running a little better than he did last week. That Conant team had a really tough defense, and Hoffman was able to play their usual fine defense and win that game. It was a defensive struggle last week. There's Colson, and he fires to Blissett again, and Blissett's got it, and he's all the way down. He's down very, he may have stepped out of bounds at about the 2 or 3 yard line. But Hoffman moving impressively here, a very determined team, and They're doing it with passing and running, but just about every play is 10 yards or more. So they're down. It's first down and goal from about the 2, and Johnson just walks into the end zone, doesn't even go down. So the Hawks are on the board. Team playing with a lot of pride, a lot of determination. They're playing, that last drive, they look like the number 6 team in the state. They just executed one good play after another, put together a long drive very, very quickly. So that took surprisingly little time. We still have almost 6 minutes left in the half, and they went right down the field and scored, and we have a game that's going to be a 10-point margin. Yeah, the kick is up, it's good, so 17-7. So they just tightened it up quite a bit on the scoreboard, but psychologically that drive just had to lift this Hoffman team. They saw their offense roar down the field. That was not a drive that needed penalties to assist it or anything. They just went practically one first down right after another most of the way, and it's 17-7 now with 5:58. Hoffman will kick it off to Schaumburg. Schaumburg receiving at the north end of the field, and as I have been noting all night, very, very, virtually no wind. Just absolutely still evening here. And here comes the kick. It's a short end over end, and it's fair catch called for and gathered in by number 13 for Schaumburg. And that's going to be at about the 32, I think. That ball gathered in by Tony Rufano, wide receiver, a sophomore, 6'1", 179. So Schaumburg goes back on offense. Arnold back in, remains at quarterback. He missed the whole first quarter, but he's played the whole second quarter to the extent that we played it. Here's Salgado picking up good yardage. He's very close to a first down, about a half a yard to go. Some of the big men on the left side of the field there for, that's that David Durs. There's no vowel in that name. On the left side of that Schaumburg line, 6'3", 240 pounds, offensive tackle. Last name is spelled D-R-S, so I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but Durs or something like that. But anyway, threw a good block on that sweep that occurred 2 plays ago. And Schaumburg picked up the first down on the next play, and they are now at their own 44. There goes Salgado again, and he's turns it in for about a 4 or 5 yard gain. Schaumburg trying to eat up a little time with their running game, and they're basically a running team. They do pass the ball, but most of their yardage coming on the ground this year. Here's Arnold. He gives it away. It's a sweep to the right this time and picks up big yardage all the way down to close to the 30-yard line of Hoffman. Schaumburg looking like a good football team. They got off to a slow start in their first game this year, but they've played very well since then. They've gone 3-1 since then, and the one was last week against an outstanding Palatine team. Here's Arnold, keeps it himself and pounds it up the middle. Well, they're all the way down to the 27. 2nd and 5. 27, 28-yard line, I guess, of Hoffman. They lead 17-7. Here goes 23 again. So I'm not sure who that is. The roster indicates that it's a kicker, but he seems more like a running back to me. Maybe, I think it's 25, Mike Digliaga. '23 is out there, listed as a kicker, but he seems to be doing other things. Perhaps he's versatile. Beautiful evening here. It's probably 65 degrees or so, and still good night for passing, but both teams are running the football a little more than they're passing. That's the style of Schaumburg, and in the case of Hoffman, they've had trouble with their passing tonight, would be sort of an understatement. They've had 2 pick sixes and 1 interception that brought it back to about the 20. So they were, for a while there, it looked like there was going to be 3 pick sixes. And man got pushed out of bounds at the 20. And he only had one, looked like he had about 1 guy to beat. So catastrophic interceptions against Hoffman Estates tonight by Schaumburg. Here's Arnold. He gives to 23 again. And that little curl in to the right and good blocking, and there the chains move again. Another first down, and they're definitely now well into field goal range, I would think, based on their kicker has kicked some extra points with plenty of room to spare. So they're down on the 15-yard line with a first down and leading by 10 points. Only 2:24 to go in the half now. There's Arnold. He looks. He's got 23 out there and can't quite elude the tacklers. The Hoffman defense finally brought him down after he had managed to slip out of a couple of spin and slip out of a couple of tackles, and then was brought down. Both of these teams using variations of the spread offense that's used by overwhelming number of high schools at this stage. So we've only got one and a half minutes to go in the half now. So time is a little bit of a concern here for Schaumburg to try to do something. Here's Arnold, and he breaks free. He's going to go all the way. It looked like he was going to be wrapped up after about 2 yards. He slipped out of a tackle, broke to his right, found space and took it all the way. So now it's 23-7, and Schaumburg is lining up for the kick. 1:18 to go in the half, and certainly Hoffman Estates, their unblemished record is in very, very, very serious trouble right now. That drive was impressive by Schaumburg, and the kick is good. And Schaumburg is, they're only 13 points short of equaling all the scoring by all of Hoffman's opponents in the first 5 games. And we're just about done with the first half. So impressive. Now 2 of those, of course, 14 points were by the defense, but it's a lot of points. On a team basis, it's a lot of points. It's 24 points against a team that had allowed only 37 in 5 games. So with 1:18 to go in the half, the Saxons lead 24-7, and they will kick it off to Hoffman. Hoffman occupying the south side of the field here. Only 1:18 to go. However, they've got the top passing game in the conference, and could move down, maybe get a field goal, maybe get a touchdown here, even with only 1:18. This is Nunn again. He's done a nice job of returning kicks, and he brings it out this time to about, looks like about the 38-yard line. See where they mark it. That's about it. So with 1:07 remaining in the half, and trailing again by 17 points, Hoffman will put the ball in play. Hoffman came into the season with a tremendous number of returning starters. I think it was 17 or so. So Colson, they've got 3 receivers wide right. Colson looking over in that direction. He's got number 4, and here we go. That's Blissett. He's going to go all the way, just like that. Well, we've seen our share of big plays here tonight, and it's starting to look like a night. The sun finally went down. So there we have it. Hoffman Estates answers with a touchdown pass to Javon Blissett. Who, other than one drop ball, has had quite a night as a receiver. Here's the kick, up, and it's good. So we've got a 24-14 game, and the Saxons cannot feel too comfortable because Hoffman can score so fast. They scored on a drive mostly running very fast, and now they just scored on a drive, what was it, 2 or 3 plays, basically on a big pass play. So Hoffman has demonstrated that they can score very, very quickly, and so that tightens it up here and makes it look a lot better for the Hawks at halftime. They were fading away there at 24-7. Now it's 24-14, a 10-point margin, and as I just said, they're running and passing. They've scored very rapidly here in the second quarter. Schaumburg will get the ball with 55.7 seconds remaining in the half. They're lined up to receive it at the north end. Oh, it's an attempt at an onside kick, but it looks like Schaumburg got it. It was an onside kick, but they just didn't recover it. Or Hoffman didn't recover their onside kick. So it'll be Schaumburg's ball at about the 40s, at about their own 48-yard line, 47-yard line. And only 55 seconds to work with. However, these teams have a lot of speed and a lot of things can happen in very little time. Hoffman with a four-man rush here. And number 25. That's Mike Diglia. And he's the freshman that's out there. Here's Arnold looking downfield. Now he looks again, he throws, and he's say that he trapped it. He sort of gathered it in on the way down, but couldn't quite get control, and then held on to it after it hit the ground. 24 seconds left in the half. That was almost caught, and had it been, they'd have been in field goal range. There's Arnold looking for the snap. And faked, he kept the ball. He's wrapped up there for a loss, and clock stopped with 16.1. They took a timeout, I believe, and so only 16.1. It's now 4th down, 2 to go. .16 seconds remaining. Well, they might go for a long one here, and if it's complete and they go out of bounds or something, they can kick a field goal. And if they punt it away here, there's possibility for a run back. And if they don't complete it, Schaumburg would get the ball at their own 48 with probably only 10 seconds left. It'd be difficult to do anything. Let's see what they're going to do here. A little hard to tell because Arnold is the punter, so he could be passing or punting out of this. Certainly looks, no, he's dropping back to punt. And he punts. There's a flag on the play, I believe. It was a low punt designed to apparently to try to cause a fumble and give Schaumburg the ball deep, but there was a penalty. That's being marched off. There it is, the fourth down. It's 4th and 10 at their own 47. And now punter is in deep punt formation. That's 23, their punter. He's also been doing some running with the football, which is a little unusual for a kicker to be. Oh, here we go. The ball gets away, and it's blocked. And with 5.5 seconds left to go in the half, Hoffman Estates has fantastic field position. Big play here. They've got an opportunity to throw. The ball's going to be on about the 20, it looks like about the 24-yard line of Schaumburg. So with 5.5 seconds to go, they've got an opportunity to try to heave it into the end zone here. It's a very long field goal. That'd be a 46-yard field goal, probably outside of the range. So we can expect Colson to go deep on this play. They can't have a receiver catch a ball and then get tackled. Time will run out. It's got to be in the end zone. So a lot of fireworks at this game tonight. Big plays, and we've got a 24-14 game with 5.5 seconds, and we're not done yet. Hoffman takes the time out, and they're looking to try to get somebody loose in the end zone here right at the end and make this a 21-24 game at halftime. If they can pull it off, and teams have been pulling off big plays throughout this game, so it wouldn't be shocking given the kind of game this has been. They've got the best passing attack in the conference. It's a 29-yard pass. It's not really asking too much. So Schaumburg with a crowd of defensive backs way back, just short of the end zone. They've got three, four backs way back. Oh, here's an attempted field goal here from 40. This is 46 yards. This is quite a long field goal. No, that's going to be too low. Too low. So we have 0.9 seconds left in the half now. That kick was way too low. It had the distance. It hit the crossbar, I believe, or the center bar, but was below the crossbar. And so it remains 24-14. Schaumburg leading 24-14 with with 9/10 of 1 second remaining. Looks like we're just going to get the victory formation here, just to take a knee and end what has been a surprisingly high-scoring first half. The highlights for Schaumburg were 2 back-to-back pick sixes. Gave them 14 of their points, 14 of their 24 points. This might be a 10-14 game without those two. And so those two plays loom very large. And then there was another interception to the 20, and then a turnover, a fumble recovery also. So Hoffman, Schaumburg, the beneficiary of some tremendous defensive play, forcing some turnovers, getting interceptions, and they lead 24-14 at the half. And we'll be back for the second half. The halftime entertainment is going forward right now. Well, we're out here waiting for the second half to get underway in about a minute. A very explosive game here. 24 for the Saxons, 14 for the Hawks. And the Saxons scored on 2 spectacular pick sixes in the first half. That's the real difference in this ball game. In fact, they might even be behind without those. But those were spectacular plays. They came in rapid succession, and that's really the hallmark of the game. That's a distinguishing thing that people will remember when they think about this game. and it's put the Saxons ahead of a team that's ranked 6th in the state of Illinois in Class 7A. Came into this game allowing only 37 points all season in five games. Here we are, the 6th game of the season, and we've got 24 points on the boards for the Saxons. So some surprises, and it's certainly the Saxons have an opportunity for an upset, but the Hawks showed that they could score fast. They had 2 quick scores, one on a sequence of runs and another one on a long pass and a short drive long pass that put 14 points on it. Here we go with the second half kickoff, and Hoffman is kicking off to Schaumburg at the south end of the field. It's brought in there way over on the west side of the field. Ball carrier tried to find some running room in the middle. That's number 25. And a host of Hoffman defenders brought him down, so Schaumburg will have the ball, 1st and 10. Looks like about the 24-yard line, their own 24, to start the second half here and try to hold on to their lead, try to add to their lead here, going into the half here with a 10-point advantage. Arnold is the quarterback. He's got 2 running backs by him, and it looks like he held the ball himself and went into the middle of the line and found a little bit of running room there. Well, more than a little bit, about 5 yards actually. It remains very still. The flags are limp in the north end of the field. Here's another attempt up the middle and doesn't get much yardage. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 4 to go. Outside of the 2 picks, Hoffman is playing pretty darn good football actually, but pick 6 is the most dramatic play in football really in a lot of ways. So here we go, it's 3rd and 4. Arnold gets the ball, gives to 23 there I believe, and it appears that it's going to be just short, a couple yards actually short. So that forces a punt. I'm sure that Hoffman coaches did a lot of prepping on the half psychologically and also game plan and everything. And I think we'll see a determined Hoffman team here trying to preserve their unbeaten record in the second half. There's the snap. Oh, almost blocked, almost blocked. And it's a bounce favorable to Hoffman. Hoffman will have the ball at about looks like their 42-yard line to start their first drive of the second half with 9:50 in the 3rd quarter. Good field position, 42-yard line. And here come the Hawks. Schaumburg with a lot of men up on the line of scrimmage right now. Now some drop off. There's Colson, swings it out, but it's bobbled and dropped by Blissett. It was a little high pass and hard to handle and falls incomplete. There's Johnson. He's a pile driver, and it looks like he picked up about 6 yards on that play. That's did the ball come loose there? Schaumburg is indicating they have it. But it's retained by Hoffman, and it's a first down. There's a flag down on the play. That brings up 1st and 10 at the 46 of Schaumburg. Here's Colson on a rare run. He dives after he sees the defense starting to close, and but he picks up, squirts through the line, picks up about 3-4 yards. And is there a penalty here? Or did... No penalty. They're just placing the ball there, and second and 6 at the 42. Colson swings it out to a receiver coming around there. That was, I believe that was number 9. Here's Colson again, and the power runner Johnson's not in there right now, and they're opting for a little more speed. Colson there runs the ball again. We didn't see him run with it much at all in the first half, so this is something that the coaches probably inserted for the second half. By the way, if you notice the visor I was wearing, it is basically the same colors as Hoffman, but it was not a Hoffman visor. It was a University of Illinois. That's my college alma mater that I have wearing tonight, and I wore it especially to keep the sun out of my eyes in the first half. Here's Colson, swings it out to the right. That's number 9 again. He's very fast, and he gets a lot of yardage. That's Mike Eppenbaugh, running back, defensive back, a senior, who has blazing speed. Hoffman is on the move here, and you know, they're all the way down to the 22-yard line. If they score here or a touchdown, we've got a 3-point game. That looked like Johnson back in again, the heavy-duty ball carrier, and he pounds it in there. He's all the way third and 2. So Johnson remains in the game. They may just give it to him to plow in and pick up this. That's what they do. And he's got it, it looks like. Well, it's going to be close, but I think he's got it. Looks like he's got it. even when they close on him, he moves the pile. So let's see what happened here. We haven't got a signal yet. Hoffman players are all signaling that they've got it, but they're not the refs. Let's see, it is a first down. So 1st and 10, ball on the 19, and this game can really tighten up here if Hoffman's able to score at this juncture of the third quarter. And here's Johnson again, and he gets a little block and he plows in. Starts so deep, it was no gain from my angle here in the press box. When they get way down the field like that, the depth perception isn't quite as easy, and it looked like he had picked up a yard or two, but he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. And so that brings up 2nd and 10 from the 19. Colson, well, we've got a whistle and a flag here. What was that, timeout called before the play got underway, or? So with 2nd down, 10 to go, 19-yard line. The score remains the Saxons 24 and the Hawks 14, but the Hawks of Hoffman Estates are threatening here to really tighten up this game. At one time it was 24-7, and at one time 17-0. So that Schaumburg has had 17-point leads twice in this game. They're now down to a 10-point lead, and that could get cut all the way down to 3 with a score here. Colson waiting for the hike from center. There goes number 9 swinging out. Colson tucks it. He's running. He doesn't get very much. Number 11 for Hoffman turned him in. That's Connor Sacramento Berry, a linebacker, a junior, that kind of turned him in, and with the help of another Schaumburg tackler, they brought him down for basically no gain. 3rd and 10. Here's Colson. This time he rifles it, but was to Alexander, but it was sort of behind him. He couldn't quite get his arms around it. Okay, 4th down. Colson looking. He let him too much. They actually could have just, had there been some work between receiver and quarterback, they had an opportunity to just have him curl back and catch a pass for the 1st down. But the ball will go over to Schaumburg, and Schaumburg has, as they like to say, dodged a bullet here. They had Hoffman banging on the door, but they were able to keep him out. Especially some good play against the run there, where they stuffed a couple of runs. And now with 4:07 left in the 3rd quarter, we've actually had no scoring for a while in the game, and score remains 24-14 in favor of Schaumburg. Hoffman with some spirited defense, the center of the line closing very quickly. I think number 62 there, Femi Ojini, in on the tackle, and number 5, Sean Brown. Here's Arnold looking for the hike. Gets it. He tries to run, but he's brought down right away. Hoffman is playing with a lot of fire right now, and they have been. Since they got way behind there, they really turned it on, and they've come out strong this second half. It hasn't translated into points yet, but they're playing with a lot of fire, a lot of intensity. And Schaumburg is too. Both of these teams want this game. This is a big game for both teams. There's Arnold. He's looking downfield. And it's not held on to. A little low and too hard to hold on to. And so that makes it 3rd and 11. They're on their own 20-yard line, 3rd and 11. They're nursing a 10-point lead right now. They'd like to get a couple of first downs at least and kick Hoffman in real deep, but here we've got 4th down here, 4th and 11, and so they've got to punt it away right now. And they didn't post it, and I thought it was 4th, but I didn't see it posted, so I didn't want to say it was 4th until I saw it up there. It is 4th, and here comes the punt. Hoffman with a man to field it at the 50, and it goes up deep. It's 13 again. He grabs it. He's got a little running room, but he's tripped up by number 22. If 22 hadn't made that trip up there, that's John Mueller of Schaumburg. He might have taken Sale for quite a return there. Somebody is down on the field there. That could be 13. He got hit low in the ankle or shin pretty hard. Looks like it could be Will Nooney. Timeout, and it's 2:44 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Saxons 24, Hawks 14. Big games going around the conference. We haven't heard any scores yet. This is one of the big ones, to be sure. Palatine and Barrington is another one. Fremd has had a rough start of the season. They've had high expectations, and they came into tonight's game with, I believe they're playing Konitz. That's the only other team left, 0-5. And Konitz looked pretty good last week against Hoffman, so here's Clausen. Colson. He's got Alexander. The big receiver who has been covered pretty well tonight, and he's a marked man. He's leading receiver in the conference. Big Ten recruit, Purdue, and hasn't seen the ball thrown his way that many times tonight, but he got open that time, and Colson hit him, and that puts the Hawks in business with a first down. Here's Johnson plowing up the middle for a nice gain on first down. That was from the 24, and he got about 5, so we're down to about the 19 or so yard line, it looks like. Second down and from the 19. Here's Colson. Nobody really open there. He threw it in between a couple of defenders, and that will bring up 3rd and 5 from the 19. Schaumburg doing a good job on pass defense, to say the least. Three interceptions tonight, 2 pick sixes, and they made it difficult to move the ball through the air. There's 3rd and 5. The give in there to Johnson, I believe, and really wrapped up at the line of scrimmage that time. So it brings up 4th and 5 from the 19. They're going for it. Here's Colson. He throws. Got it off. But threw behind Alexander, and Alexander turned around. The ball was well behind him, and it'll go over on downs to Schaumburg. So Hoffman has had 2 drives that have gone down to around the red zone there, or just in the edge of the red zone, but have come away with no points as the Schaumburg defense has stiffened, and perhaps some of the execution by Hoffman was just a little off between their receivers and their quarterback. So Schaumburg takes over. 1:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. They're still hanging on to a 10-point lead after twice. Here comes Schaumburg with a run to the right, picking up a little yardage there on 1st down. They try to move it out, get it out into better field position. The ball gets advanced out to about the 22-yard line. Hoffman with a 4-man line. Looks like three linebackers and 4 defensive backs. There, that line stifles Schaumburg that time, and the second half is developing as a little bit of a defensive battle, which accrues to the Saxons' favor since they came into it 10 points ahead, and we're running out of time in the 3rd quarter right now. The clock is running right off, and it looks like we're going to be at the end of the 3rd quarter here momentarily. That's what's going to happen, and we're there. That's the end of the 3rd quarter, and the score remains, although there were a couple of serious threats by Hoffman, and we ended with Hoffman. Third down, 8 to go, ball on the 22. They're in position to possibly tighten up this game, but they've been there before and they haven't made it. So, or I take that back. The Saxons have the ball. They're trying to advance it out of there and get a little better field position. They've warded off 2 attempts by Hoffman, and so they've been able to preserve this lead. Now they're 3rd and 8 from the 22. They've got a chance to, make a 1st down and move the ball out a little bit, and perhaps, at the very least, change the field position a little bit. Maybe go the full distance. But the Saxons with the football, with the lead, at the end of the 3rd quarter, the start of the 4th quarter commencing momentarily here. Here comes the Saxons offensive unit back on the field. There's Arnold out there waiting for the hike. He's almost tripped up. He gets it away, and it's caught. And it's a good catch. Brought down inbounds, so quite a big play, really. Gets them all the way out to about the 41-yard line with a fresh set of downs, and makes the task of catching up for Hoffman to be that much more difficult. Now they've got Hoffman with Schaumburg moving with a first down and a good pass play there by Arnold and good reception. No room there. The defensive line has been generally fairly tough for Hoffman all night long, 71-62. That's Javar Hurtado is 71, and 62 is Fermi Ogini. And here's 23, that's the fellow that's listed as a kicker. He's been running, I think that's, if I've got him right, yeah, listed as a kicker. Or no, that's Schaumburg. That of course is John Mueller of Schaumburg. But he's listed as a kicker also, I think. Let's see. Yeah, both 23s are kickers. So John Mueller is listed as a kicker, and he picked up decent yardage on that play. He's done that a number of times tonight. So obviously a kicker and a running back combination there. There's the Hoffman defensive line closing in that time, and that will bring up fourth down. So they'll get another opportunity to try to tighten things up here, but the clock keeps ticking. We're down to 10 minutes left in the ball game. So if Hoffman is going to make a move, they really have to get going fairly soon, I would think, although we've seen some very fast scoring tonight, some very exciting big plays on both sides. Hoffman looks like they're poised to block it here. They almost do. There's Nooney again, and tripped up by one man again. Guy got in low on him and tripped him up. But he brought it out to about the 36-yard line or 34-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Hoffman Hawks, trailing in this game by 10 points. They've been in that position since late in the first half, and had a couple of good drives that fizzled out due to combination of execution a little off on a couple of plays, and then Schaumburg's defense stiffening. So the score has remained a 10-point lead for Schaumburg, and now Hoffman is trying to tighten it up again. Here's Colson. He's looking deep. He's looking very deep. He's got Blissett, but Blissett is unable to run under it. It was thrown a little too deep. He had gotten a little bit of separation, and Blissett is being covered by a defensive back fairly closely, but a back that's quite a bit shorter than he is. The back for Schaumburg is number 20. We don't have a 20 listed here, so we don't know exactly who he is, but he appears to be more like 5'8" or something, and Blissett is rather tall. His height is not listed either, but he's got to be 6'3" or so, maybe 6'4". So there's a little completion. That'll bring up 3rd and 6, it looks like. Clock keeps ticking. We're talking end of game now, not end of quarter, but end of game. 9:09. And Hoffman, the number 6 team in the state of Illinois, trailing. Still trailing. They've been behind the whole game. Never seen a lead so far. And they'd have to score 11 points to get in the lead. Got a nice view of the players here. They're very close to the press box. Here's Colson. And it's complete to Blissett that time and for a first down. And that might be what they need to do a little more. These curl arounds where receiver, instead of running all the way out, just turns in and curls around and comes back and picks up and he hits him with a hard pass like that. Here's 9. He's got tremendous speed. Looks like he's got a first down, or he's very close to it if he isn't. It looks like they're moving the chains. So here goes Hoffman. It looks like they're heading toward that end zone again. This has happened twice in the second half where they've gotten deep, and now they're into Schaumburg territory at the 39-yard line with a first down. Here's Colson looking again. He's got Blissett again. Blissett dances around, evades his man, dances some more. He went out of bounds there, but he's got a first down. Very shifty and good balance, and manages to make himself very hard to tackle. He just bounces out of tackles and twists and turns, and got a first down, and now it's 1st and 10 at the 25. And here's number 9. He's got, he was very close to having running room there. Tackled by 24. That's Victor Olatin for Schaumburg that brought him down. But they're on the 14 now with a first down. And here's Blissett. Blissett is moving around. He's going to make it this time. That time he danced out of a tackle and into the end zone. And we've got a really tight ball game here. A really tight ball game. With the kick here, we're down to a 3-point game. A field goal could tie us up. Still have plenty of time, 8:15. And Hoffman showing that they can move down the field and score rapidly. They were stifled in the third quarter once they got to the red zone, but this time they finished. There's the kick, it's up, it's good. We've got a 24-21 ball game now with 8:15 to go. So we'll see Schaumburg come out, see if they can play some ball control or put some more points on the board. I've got to think that they're hoping they can put some more points on the board, because this certainly looks like a Hoffman team that can score again. From Barrington and Palatine in the third quarter were 14 all, and Fremd and Conant 12-10 at halftime. So there's the other games in the mid-suburban West tonight. Fremd leading Conant. Fremd is winless, and I think Conant, I believe they have one win. They have one win. So, but two pretty good teams in spite of their records, and Barrington and Palatine deadlocked at 14. And the kick is out of bounds. And flag down on the field. See if somebody was offsides or penalty against Hoffman. Kick it again from the 35 this time. So with 8:15, Schaumburg waiting for the kick. 8:15 left to go in the game. There's a short kick, and it's handled there by number 13 for Schaumburg. That's Tony Ferrano, wide receiver that gathered in it, just a sophomore. Schaumburg will take the ball. They've got it at their own 41. They've got the number 6 team in the state on the ropes, but with this much time left, they've got to probably do something with this drive to at least burn some time and get a good punt off, and ideally from Schaumburg's standpoint, put some more points on the board. There's Arnold waiting for the hike, and he's going to run it up the middle if he can. Now he bounces out to the left, and he picks up, looks like about 6 yards or so. He started out going for the center, saw that blocked off, and quickly bounced it out to the left and picked up about 5 yards. So 2nd and 5. We're under 8 minutes now. There's a run up the middle. That'll bring up 3rd and about 2 or 3, 3rd and 3 maybe. I think that was 23, the ball carrier. One of 2 number 23s in this game listed as kickers, and they do much more than kick. Third and about 3 to try to retain possession, but he stopped, and Hoffman will get the ball back. That forces a punt. We're under 7 minutes. It's 4th down, and it's about 2 yards to go, so with a 3-point lead, looks like Schaumburg will have to punt here. It's right about at midfield. And Arnold looking like he's going to take a snap, but now they call timeout, and 6:23 to go in the game, 24-21. The Hawks of Hoffman Estates trying to hold on and trying to stop Schaumburg here, get the ball back, and try to get the lead for the first time tonight in this game and have a chance at preserving their perfect record on the season and going 6-0. On the other hand, the Saxons would love to put this game away and get the upset. It's quite a ball game, a lot of big plays. So here it is, 4th and 2. Schaumburg's offensive unit coming out, but Arnold is also a punter, so we don't know what they're going to do just by having him in there. Well, it looks like a false move there on the offense. That'll move them back. Now the regular punting unit comes out for Schaumburg. I may have been just an attempt to try to get Hoffman offsides there, but didn't work, and lost 5 yards for Schaumburg. They're in deep punting formation now, and here comes the snap. It's 4th down and 7. 6:23 to go. And caught by 13. He's got off to a good start, but this Schaumburg defense, the special teams for Schaumburg had closed the door on him all night long. just when it looks like he's going to take off, a host of tacklers converged on him and set him down at about the 38-yard line. So here's Hoffman. They're trailing by 3. Their perfect record is on the line. 6:12 to go in the game. They've got a 1st and 10. They have the only score of the second half, as their defense has really stiffened and they haven't turned over the ball the way they were in the first half. Here's Colson. This is Alexander. If he gets running room, look out. He's going. He's way down along the field, and he is hit low and knocked down at about the 20-yard line. That's what a Big Ten recruit looks like. He just gathered that ball in, outran everybody for a while. He was caught, however, at about the 20-yard line. A defender for Schaumburg had the angle on him and managed to hit him from the side and force him out of bounds. Here's number 9 again. He's got a lot of running room. He's all the way down to about the 3-yard line. And that's Mike Eppenbaugh, a senior. And Hoffman is banging on the door. We're just a whisker inside of 6 minutes now, 5:51 and counting. But they're at first and goal at the 2-yard line. So I think we'll see Mr. Johnson in the ball game here, or no, it looks like Eppenbaugh. Eppenbaugh takes it in. Eppenbaugh takes it in, number 9. He came close on the play before. They gave it to him. And for the first time tonight, the fans here on the Hoffman side are finally showing a lot of emotion. They've been they've been frozen throughout and stifled by the turn of events here throughout much of the night, as far as cheering and everything, because of the predicament that they saw their team falling down in this game. But Hoffman has been chipping away all night since they got down 17-0, and they now finally have the lead, and they've got the lead 27-24. They can make it a 4-point game here. And it's a 4-point game with the Hawks of Hoffman Estates now on top, 5:33 remaining. And Schaumburg will have to score again in order to pull an upset. They've been trying to hang on. They've been trying to score, but this defense of Hoffman, really the defense has played well at night. There's only 10 offensive points by Schaumburg here tonight. 24 on the board includes the incredible two long pick sixes that made such a difference. And Hoffman defense has really maintained its stature here tonight. They've only allowed 10 points, so that's just a little bit above their season average of about 7.4. But the 2 pick sixes were catastrophic and put the Hawks in a situation where they were really in a perilous situation, and they're not out of it yet. It's 5:33. Schaumburg will get the football. They've moved the football well on occasion tonight, and so we've still got 5.5 minutes of football here. There's a short push kick fielded by number 13 for Schaumburg, and that's Tony Rafrano again. And the ball will go and play. They've avoided, with that, they avoid a run back. They have the possibility, it's a spinning kick, a possibility of the ball being bobbled and being a free ball. But anyway, as it turns out, Schaumburg gets a first down at the 39-yard line. And Hoffman Hoffman's defense for the first time tonight is defending a lead as opposed to just trying to keep them in position to get a lead. They're defending a lead for the first time tonight. Oh, it's a big pile. That Hoffman defense is sky high. They like their new assignment of defending a lead. It's a little more elevating, and they really piled on that run just now. They really, I should say, they stuffed that run. It wasn't piling on, but there were about 4 or 5 Hoffman defenders there that just closed the door completely on that run. So it's 2nd and 10, 5:03 remaining. 4-point lead. Field goal won't do it for Schaumburg to get into overtime. Arnold waiting for the snap. He's looking downfield. He throws a long pass. Up there, there's a flag. Somebody interfered with somebody. Flag was thrown. And it seems as though they're probably going to call it on Hoffman. The fans over here reacting as if that's the way they're going to go with the call. Oh, they're waving it off. They're waving it off. So that brings up 3rd and 10 for Schaumburg. Very important series if they, with this, well, now they have to catch up. They may not have too many opportunities. This is one of them. And the way Hoffman is going, they could put another touchdown on the boards and just put this game out of reach. So big play coming up, 3rd and 10. With the Saxons now trailing 24-28. 4:42 left in the game. And they're at their own 39-yard line, so they would have to punt if they can't make this. Beautiful evening, and it remains, the flags at the north end zone have been just hanging straight down all evening. It's when I'm not doing this, I'm a tennis player, and we love these days when there's no wind outside. Makes it a lot easier to play the game. We've had a lot of days like this lately, and it's been great for tennis. It's great for the passing game in football. We've seen some fairly good passing tonight. And we've also seen some passes go awry. Okay, 3rd and 10. 4:42 to go, 3rd and 10. Schaumburg needs a first down very badly. Here's Arnold. He's looking. Now he's trying to run. Now he passes. He's got his man. Was he over the line of scrimmage? I don't know. I don't think so. And it looks like he's got a first down. He just, with a short, almost like throwing a dart motion of the arm, he fired about an 11-yard pass for a first down. And so that puts them at the 49-yard line of Hoffman with a fresh set of downs. A little under 4.5 minutes to go in the game, and they need to march down the field. There's 23, the alleged kicker takes it, and he picks up about a yard or so on a sweep. .23 for Schaumburg, being John Mueller, listed as a kicker, 5'10", 170, a junior.
been running the ball a fair amount tonight. Here's Arnold again. 2nd and 9, and Arnold will keep it. He's bottled up by that strong defensive line. He got a little bit, he fell forward, but not an awful lot of yardage. Brings up 3rd and 7. And now we're down to 3:20. Time is disappearing rapidly here. And should Hoffman get the ball again, they could be in a position to run out the clock here. 3rd and 7, another big 3rd down, and there's going to be 2 downs here because they will go for it on 4th down here in this situation. Yeah, they're going to go for it on 4th down this next play, I'm sure. Brings up 4th down after Arnold with a keeper only gets about a couple of yards, and so we have 4th and about 3 yards maybe, and we got 4th and about 3. But they're down to about it's only 2.5 minutes left now, and they're down to about the 42-yard line. So they will go for it here. They say 4 yards to go, 4th and 4. Here's Arnold, he's looking. Now he throws, and it will go over the receiver. And with 2:15 to go, Hoffman takes over. I think we'll see Mr. Johnson, that's Jalen Johnson, number 28, go to work here to seal the victory. That would be, but of course, if I'm thinking that, Schaumburg's probably thinking the same thing. They're going to stack this defensive line against them and try to stop him and maybe try to cause a fumble. But that would seem to be the order of business. He's run pretty well, but they've gotten good running from number 9 on the outside too. So if they stack it too much in the middle, they can hand it to number 9, Eppenbaugh, and go wide. But Hoffman now in the driver's seat with only 2:15 to go, and if they can punch out a 1st down, they can probably run out the clock. Here's Eppenbaugh. He's got a little running room, more than a little running room. He's still going. He's all the way down to about the 42-yard line of Schaumburg. That'll move the chains. They've got the ball pretty far down. I don't think we'll see Colson do any passing here. With Eppenbaugh, and right now I don't think I see Johnson out there. Eppenbaugh running very well here. He's sort of a different body type altogether. He's small, scat back, tremendous speed. He's got good footwork, and they seem to be going with Eppenbaugh here. Colson gives it to Eppenbaugh again. This time he's met at the line of scrimmage by number 11 blitzing. And that's Connor Casamento-Berry, linebacker that made that stop. Roared through from his linebacker position and met him for a slight loss, about a loss of about a half a yard there. But we're down to 1:37. It's 2nd down, 11 to go. 1:37, and they're into Hoffman territory on the 43. So there'll be, let's see, how many timeouts do we have here? There's 1 timeout remaining for both teams. Most importantly for Schaumburg, which really needs the timeouts. So, 1 more 1st down will just about put the game away for Hoffman. But they've got a ways to go. It's 2nd and 11. They now have Eppenbaugh, and they've got number 25 out there. That's Jordan Lane. So 2 small backs. But here it is to Blissett, and Blissett takes a knee, stays in bounds, so the clock keeps going, rather than letting himself get pushed out of bounds. And so now it's 3rd, picked up about 4 or 5 yards. It's 3rd, I think it's going to be 3rd and 7. And about looks like about the 37-yard line or so, 38-yard line of Schaumburg. 3rd and 6 at the 38. 128 is all we have left. Down to 128. And they're at the 38. If they don't make it, they'd probably try to coffin corner the ball and make Schaumburg go the whole length of the field in 50 seconds or something, you know. Here's Alexander in the backfield right now. This is the Wildcat with 235 pounds of muscle there. And it looks like he got a first down. I think they decided to go with their blue chipper there and put this game away. Take the Purdue recruit and let him run the football. It looks like they're going to measure. It's right down there. If it's a first down, it's probably game over. And it's in any event, it's going to be within inches, and it'll be 4th down and inches, and Alexander would probably be out there to pound away and get a first down. So Hoffman Estates down 17-0 at one point, 24-7 for a while in the first half. And then it was 24-14 at halftime. It stayed that way until late in the game. And the Saxons have not scored in the second half. It's been the Hawks coming up, and Schaumburg did stop 2 deep drives in the third quarter. But the Hawks have been relentless on offense. If they don't make it one time, they make it the next time. And now there's a measurement out there, and you know, I think you're going to see them go for it and make it anyway. It looks like it's about a few inches short, so it's less than a yard. It's about it looks like it's about less than half a foot, and we basically have Colson. We've got Eppenbaugh out there. Surprised we don't have number 2 out there. Oh, they jumped off sides. Schaumburg jumped off sides. They pulled him off sides. And that could be it. With 1:06 remaining, the referee is walking off 5 yards against Schaumburg. It's a fresh set of downs. And that will be the game. That will be the game right there. Hoffman with a really impressive comeback from 24-7. They scored 21 unanswered points to put this game away. They're in the victory formation now. The clock is running with 56 seconds, and they've got a fresh set of downs. So this game is effectively over unless something really incredible happens. And there's one down. We're 2nd down, and they're taking a knee. We're down to 35 seconds with the clock running. We're just going to see the clock run out now. And it's tremendous comeback from the adversity of 2 pick sixes. They overcame 2 pick sixes, which it's hard to overcome one. They overcame 2 tonight. And Hoffman Estates, we've still got 8 seconds. It's still running off, but everybody's going out and shaking hands now. The game is over. There it is. Now it's official. It is over. And Hoffman Estates, the number 6 team in Class 7A, on the ropes tonight, turned it around, was able, with their great defense, they were able to shut out the Saxons in the second half. And meanwhile, score 2 touchdowns and win this football game. So that's it from Schaumburg Stadium, where the Hoffman Estates Hawks have won a game, a valiant effort by Schaumburg to try to pull the upset here. Quite a performance by them, but the Hawks in the second half with their defense, they just pretty much shut down Schaumburg, and they kept pounding away with their offense, and they have won this game. They go to 6-0. They play Barrington next week in a game that certainly has championship implications for the Mid-Suburban West. That's it tonight from Schaumburg Stadium.